Hi guys, it's Nix. Welcome back to my channel. I get questions and comments saying, I don't understand this. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I don't understand if this is right or that's right. You're not doing anything wrong. And you can't understand consciousness. At least not from the perspective of the logical mind. Because there's no logic to any of this. There's no logic to the I am. It just is. It's everything. Understanding consciousness is not an understanding at all. It's a knowing. It's being. Because it's who you are. And the logical mind exists within consciousness. It's not separate from it. It exists because consciousness exists. Consciousness, the I am, is everything, and everything is it. All of this exists because consciousness wanted to experience itself. And without consciousness, there's none of this. None of what we see, feel, think, hear in the physical reality exists outside of consciousness. So when you're being, if you think you're doing something wrong, that's only true if you believe that you're doing something wrong. So if you're telling yourself, I'm doing something wrong, then yes, you are, because you are always proven right. Because your word is law, you are God, you are everything, you are consciousness, you are the I am. But if you say, no, I'm not doing anything wrong, this is my way of doing things, it still works out for me, that is correct, because every way works, because you are the power behind it. You are the I am. As an example, let's talk about the Schrodinger's cat thought experiment. So in this thought experiment, there's a cat sealed in a box with a flask of poison and a radioactive source. If radiation occurs, it triggers the shattering of the flask, thus killing the cat. If no radiation occurs, the flask doesn't shatter and the cat is still alive. So this thought experiment was designed to illustrate a paradox of quantum superposition. What does that mean? Quantum superposition describes a state where a quantum system, like an electron or a proton, exists in multiple states at the same time until a measurement is made, or until it is observed. So the cat's ability to be in an ambiguous state of both alive and dead at the same time is called the observer paradox, meaning that we're unaware of which state the cat exists or doesn't exist in until we observe it. And what is the act of observing something? It's awareness. Nothing exists outside of awareness. Outside of awareness, outside of consciousness, everything is just infinite potential waiting to be observed. And the observer paradox, or the observer effect in quantum mechanics, suggests that the act of observing a quantum system changes its state, meaning that the particles take on a single definitive state once they are observed. And until that observation is made, they exist simultaneously in all states. It's limitless potential. That is what consciousness is. It's the awareness, it's the observer, which is you. You are the observer, but you are also the creator, because all of this is consciousness and it is for consciousness. So you are the projector and you're also the one who's observing the projection. And the 3D reality is just a reflection of that projection. It's like a cinema screen. The screen itself doesn't produce the movie. The movie is projected onto the screen from a projector. The same is true for the 3D. The 3D is just a reflection of our inner reality. Whatever our awareness has been on for a prolonged period of time shows up in the 3D, because nothing exists outside of consciousness. If someone was to transition out of the human experience and go back to being pure consciousness, their reality now does not exist. Now you might turn around and say, of course it does. I can see this and I can see that. That's your reality. That's no longer their reality, because their consciousness, their awareness is no longer existing in the 3D. Outside of consciousness, outside of awareness, everything is just limitless potential. It just is. It's waiting to be observed. And once you observe it, once you're consciously aware of it, it then takes a definitive form, or it enters a definitive state. So next time you ask how is this going to happen? It doesn't make sense to me. First, it's not about making sense, because this is beyond logic. Consciousness exists outside of time and space. Logic is limited to the mind, which exists in the 3D. It doesn't exist outside of it. So you can't understand consciousness. You can't try to logically grasp onto it. You never will. It's a knowing. It's who you are. It's the only thing that remains when the facade falls away. And second, when you're saying, how is this going to happen? How is this going to come about? You're again trying to grasp at it from a very limited perspective of the mind. You don't know the millions of ways that things can come to pass, so stop trying. The how is not of your business. You are the decider. You're the creator. You're the one who claims, who declares, this is who I am. And who you are is. It is law. It is done. Just because you found out about this now doesn't mean that it is not law. It doesn't mean that it hasn't existed forever, for eons. It existed before your physical form was created and will exist after as well. It is the eternal. It is the supreme. Stop trying to understand it. You cannot. Just know. Just be. That is who you are. So when you say, this is who I am now, this is my new story, you're not changing anything. What you're doing is you're choosing a new timeline, because infinite timelines, infinite worlds, infinite universes exist now. That's what it means when people say creation is finished. Infinite realities exist now. Everything, everywhere, all at once. That's what that means. Up until this point, your consciousness was immersed in one reality. But now when you're saying, this is who I am, this is my new story, you're not changing anything. You're just choosing a new timeline by putting your awareness on this new way of being, the new you, the you that is whatever you want, the you that is that desire, the you that is that fulfillment, is that completion, is that love. By being consciously aware of that version of you, you're bringing forth that reality where you are it in the physical. Because in reality, as consciousness, you are all things. You are everything right now. But by persisting in the new story, in the physical, you experience a new reality. That's the only thing that's happening. You're putting conscious awareness onto a new way of being. And therefore, your new reality has to reflect that back to you. There is no other option. Stop focusing on the time. Stop saying that I did affirmations for 4 days. I meditated for a week. He still hasn't proposed to me. Every time you say that, you're saying that I'm still in lack. I still don't have this, which is not true. You are it. Just stay in that knowing. It's done. When you say it is done, it is done. Stop waiting for the 3D to bring it to you. You already gave it to yourself. There's nothing for you to get. I know this video was rather short, but I do hope that it makes sense to you guys. I know you guys are having a great weekend. I wish you an even better one, and I'll see you in the next video.